Hey y'all. So, the Angel of the Odd, I already talked about. And then in that video I mentioned, brain fart, the spectacles. Oh my gosh, if you haven't read this, there's gonna be spoilers obviously, but I'm just gonna assume you have. In typical Poe fashion, he starts off this wonderful story with a long, seemingly unnecessary and irrelevant thing about his name. He's talking about his Christian name. He was, what's the stupid shit he said? He was like, he's Napoleon Bonaparte and blah 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 blah. And he's talking about, I'm really hot. It's a fucking heat wave at the moment, and so Edgar starts out this story with my name and my ancestors in Europe and blah 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 blah. And so then he talks about himself. And the reason why I like to think that all his works are self-inserts is because he describes himself here. Curly black hair, gray eyes, a sufficiently good nose, as he said. His nose is pretty straight and tall, it looks like anyway. So, he also said that I'm however years old and I don't like wearing my glasses. It makes me look old. I don't like it. This is kind of distracting. So, he's like, I don't want to wear glasses. I don't like it. I'll have to deal with it. And so that's the beginning of our story, our preface. And it really begins. He's going out into town with a friend of his, and they go out to an opera, I think, or some sort of theater. And he sees this beautiful woman, beautiful lady with beautiful jewelry and the gowns, and he even says himself in the poem that you can tell the wearer has a fastidious taste because of the fine jewels and the off the shoulder and the beautiful 1800s crap. So he turns to his friend and he's like, yo, do you know this lady? Do you know, can you hook me up? He's like, fuck yeah, she's this woman that came from France, she's a widow and blah blah blah, she's available, etc. And he's like, yo, I got this shit. He's like, I can marry rich, what? So, our unnamed protagonist, narrator, which I always like to say is Poe himself. Bye! Voila. And they're gonna start barking, of course. So, he actually gets a hold of this woman, and he starts going back and forth writing letters to this lady, and she only speaks French because she's from France and everything, and obviously. So, they're going back and forth writing these love letters and all lovey-dovey and shit. And this is when I'm first reading the story thinking, this is my favorite story of all. It's like not gory and it's not super over dramatic, and but it still has like the element of Poe, the creepiness, and not in a creepy way, but like the way the Victorian era was just obsessed with death, and that was just life. But oh god. So these two characters get so into it that they're actually about to get married in the story. And she's the night before her wedding, this lady, I'm blanking on her name in the story. She goes, I'll marry you, but you have to wear your glasses. And he's like, anything for you, my love. So their wedding day rolls around. And his wife is talking shit about some dumbass she knew back in France and says the name, and he's like, wait a minute, you mean this dude? And she's like, yeah, that dumbass, and he had a bunch of kids and fucking stupid ass fucking, and he's like, that's my family. So she breaks it to him, and either she breaks it to him or he gets to wear those glasses. And he puts those glasses on, and he sees that she is an old woman. Really old woman. And she's sitting there laughing at him like, you fucking dumbass. You fucking dumb American. And that's when it's revealed that he just married his great-great-grandmother? Something like that? Either great-grandmother or great-great, or even great-great-great. I don't know. But that is one of the best twists I think I've ever heard of, at least in an older story. Like, A Modest Proposal is one, and all the other great twist stories in history, like the lottery and shit. But the kind of stories that you read once and you know the ending, like Porphyria's Lover and shit. But, oh boy. In the story, this is the best part, he doesn't divorce her. He's like, yeah, I'm still married. I want that money. I'm married to my grandma. Ugh. But the last line is, and I'm never to be met without my spectacles. Which is an understatement. If you marry your grandma on accident because you're so goddamn blind, maybe you should wear your glasses. And I'm just having fun goofing off now. So, I'm glad you watched. I'm glad you made it this far if you have. Let me know what you think. Read the story for yourself. Let me tell me what I got wrong because it's been a little bit. And thanks for watching. See you next time.